everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video. It's me, Aline. It is the first day of fall here in New York. That's why I'm in this very obvious sweater, and I swear to God the temperatures were like in the 50s. I am sure it won't last. New York usually takes like a million years for fall to start. In fact, famously it's known for having a very... That could have been really bad. That was so scary. So I'm sure this sweater is a little premature in completely tweaking the vibe, but I'm living my best life this weekend. It's that time of year, you guys. We're here, we're in it now. We're in it. Like, if you listen really closely, that's the rain coming down. In this video, I'm taking you along with a little office touch-up, an office refresher, if you will. Our office, much love, it is so handy to have a third bedroom, and I cannot believe that we have an apartment that has that kind of space. But definitely, because of our priorities, I think that room gets the least amount of attention. I just really haven't made it completely my own, even though we're going on 3 years of having lived in this apartment. So I'm using today and this vlog as an excuse to kind of like, one, make some content, but two, give that room the attention it deserves. I need to put up a shelf, I need to put up a mirror. Why does that keep happening? And then I get to do a little set dressing for the whole little space. I also am gonna do some general cleaning. The whole house is kind of a mess today. This past week has been just kind of crazy on my end at least, and I just feel like there's so many little things in the apartment that just need to get deep cleaned, and I haven't been able to dedicate the time to do that. So at least I'm going to use this as an excuse to also deep clean the office. Hopefully it shouldn't take me too long, but I am excited to get it done. Basically, I have been saying for years that a fantasy of mine is that one day when I'm a published author, because if you're new here, hello, my name's Aline. I'm like a 20-something writer. I live and work in New York. I'm a barista by day and a writer by night, and I'm currently working on my first novel, which is a nostalgic queer fantasy. And you know, when I'm manifesting, when I'm daydreaming, I think about what it will be like one day to potentially like be published, and how cool would it be to have like my own office in my own apartment one day. I just always thought I'd love to have a shelf with all of these like dragons on them. My book has dragons in them. They're kind of like a central focal point of the whole thing. Not only that, but when I was in the 6th grade, I had a history and English teacher, and he was obsessed with dragons. It was like his whole thing, and I remember it just being like such a lovely trait that he just like loved dragons. And for every single 6th grade class that he taught through the years, the final project for those students was to create their own 3-dimensional dragon, and he would hang them from his classroom ceiling. And as a kid, there was nothing more magical than that, and it must have stuck because I remember being kind of more neutral towards dragons, and I think that that core memory really cemented my fondness. So I think I've always wanted to have maybe my own little version. But yeah, I've always refrained from like doing a big like collectible moment because I'm like, I have nowhere to put them, you know. But maybe one day when I'm a published author, I can have my own office and have a dragon shelf, and that would be pretty cool. And Michelle, the other day, we were in Chelsea Market. I was looking at this dragon garland. I'll show you later. I was telling Michelle, I was like, oh, if I had my dragon little office, I could put this little dragon garland in my dragon office. And Michelle was like, why can't you just get a shelf, put up a shelf, and start putting your little things on it? And I thought that was a really good idea. Very good point, Michelle. So basically that prompted the whole idea. There are a couple things that I want to continue to add, so obviously we're not going to see everything in this vlog. For now, we're putting up a shelf, we're doing a little cleaning, and come along with me while I do that. So as you can see, this is my corner of the office. It's not very cute, especially when you compare it with Michelle's side of the office. Of course, this is also at the end of a very busy week. Knickknacks have just built up, and yeah, no good. So I'm gonna get started on putting the shelf up, because when you drill into the wall, obviously there's, God, it's raining so hard. You're just getting cut off of it, but there's actually a drip in the ceiling that comes back every autumn, and it's always a fucking hassle to fix. We've gotten the ceiling patched twice. Tried to find the source of it, and they literally can't figure out like where it's coming from on the roof. They've done so much construction on that thing. Last year, we thought it had sorted, and lo and behold, because of tropical storm season, because of all the rainfall we've been getting, the drip is back. So if you see that bowl right there, is not just a random salad bowl for the office. It is in fact a bowl to catch all the dripping water. This is the shelf. I ordered it on Amazon. When I built my bookshelves for my bedroom, it was a whole undertaking, and I wanted to make it like really personal. But the sad thing is the Upper West Side lumber store, Mike's Lumber, closed, like literally shuttered its business last year. I couldn't go and get some just casual lumber cut. Most of the Home Depots in the island of Manhattan don't cut lumber on site because old buildings are not really authorized to do that kind of thing. It's a fire hazard to have that kind of equipment. So you have to go to the Bronx or Brooklyn to get your wood cut. And I'm kind of in a financially strained year, I'm not gonna lie. So this is the shelf that I got, and these are its little supports. It also looks like it's ready to be stained if you wanted to stain it. Honestly, we have a very, very light wash kind of vibe to this room. We have our like white IKEA unit. We have this like very pale wood. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it blank, and that way if I want to stain it later in life, I can do that. But I just want to leave it as is because I think it'll look really cute. I made my little pencil markings earlier with Michelle because I cannot make a choice without her validating it, and that's on issues. Well, to be fair, Michelle is way better at design than I am, and so I don't really have a kind of eye for that kind of thing. This is me and my shelf, and it is going up. Also currently listening to the audiobook Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. I know that this is like a very popular read at the moment. I actually own the physical copy of the book. I have tried to read it several times. I don't know, the first chapters weren't really clicking with me, and I knew this was true because when I switched to the audiobook I found the same experience where I was like, these first chapters are not really like my vibe. I think because when she was in high school and in college, like, she was such a party girl and I was like a recluse. I think I had a hard time relating to it at first, but I gotta say, I listened to an interview with Dolly Alderton on one of my favorite podcasts, Shameless, which is an Australian podcast about pop culture, and she was so charming and wise, and I loved her voice. I was like, I've got to give this book a second try. Maybe I'll like it more this way because it's read in her voice, and I think that she has like a je ne sais quoi, like X factor, especially when she speaks. So if you hear this in the background, it's what I'm listening to out loud while I put up the shelf.
Things felt very different when we returned to London. Painted it black. She put an F next to B. You're your own mother now. You have to listen to what you want. I took my top off and joined. Listened to the recording again when I was in bed that night. His words bouncing. Student boyfriend, my promise. My phone lit up. Go, I said. I didn't tell her that I had looked at flights out of curiosity. I emailed Barney and received an email back from her. Okay, I understand why you're acting so nuts. The dynamic of interviewer and interviewee changed. Everything felt different to the last time we spoke months before. That my nails were always in him afterwards to talk about them. Woman he'd once dated. I looked above me at the same side of the moon.
Okay, so the shelf is up because the thing is that I have other stuff to fill in this space. So I didn't want it to be so low that it all kind of ended up like being this weird congested stuff that went along just like right along my desk. Let's see that. It looks good. It looks so cute. Okay. If it was lower, it would be like balancing on the lamp. Okay. It looks amazing. And you don't think of these, because these two here. Hi. These two here are like a little bit more into each other. What are you saying? Okay, so you don't see a flaw. No. Also, literally no one is gonna stand here. Like if someone walks into the room, it looks good. Okay. That's amazing. It looks great.
Thank you.
I'm thinking like this. Yeah, that looks cute. Oh, my Bob the Builder. Sometimes I remember like what a hard time I had putting in shelves in my room. And I'm like, oh, what an idiot. It's so easy. And then I'll do one of the rooms that has a brick wall that's like old and crumbling, and I'm like, this is like impossible. Yeah. It is cool that I'm like, oh no, it was a hard thing to do. Done. I got this mirror from a street vendor outside outside the Upper West Side Bazaar, there is a street on Columbus that kind of runs parallel to it. Vendors who don't want to sell the like booth fee just like stake out and sell their stuff. And I got this mirror here for like $25. I'm really happy. It looks like it's a companion one to the one that we have in our living room, but in fact we bought them completely separately. Hello, it's a brand new day. I'm here in my office and I am about to run out so I can do some final things on this little corner to get it prepped for just being my new area. There's still some things that I have to buy. I have to order a new lamp. I have to run it to the hardware store and get a hook for my little whiteboard. Birdie's here. Birdie is having a big old nap. Very cute. Then I am also going to run out and get a Jellycat, which is huge. Let's just call a spade a spade. If you guys are not familiar with the Jellycat lore, what a Jellycat is the most wholesome stuffed animal you've ever seen. Now, I would just like to say that I've been on the Jellycat game from a very early time in my life. And I don't want to seem like I think I'm some sort of hipster, some sort of trendsetter, but I'm not saying I'm not a trendsetter. I just think that I have good taste for stuffed animals. And I think that when I was shopping for a Christmas present for Michelle back in the year of our Lord, I think it was like 2015, I got her a Jellycat. And I liked the look of them. Now they're huge, they're everywhere, they're like the stuffy for children, which we love to see. Kids have a dying planet, they at least deserve the best stuffed animal money can buy. That's so sad. Then I'm going to clean up this space, stage it all up. The character played by Amy Adams called Anna in the seminal classic Leap Year.
Oh, that's perfect.
I don't know, if that was a kiss, I'm surprised you're still wed to him at all.
No, they're shy, that's all.
Yes, really shy.
If you guys are familiar with the concept of staging, I'd recommend that you watch that movie. Honestly, great movie. Such soothing vibes. Kind of cottagecore element, if you've ever seen it. Great airplane movie, too. I'm gonna stop dilly-dallying. What? Dilly-dallying. Dilly-dallying. Get out on these Upper West Side streets and make a couple purchases. Can't believe that I just got paid and I'm about to blow all my money on a Jellycat and some nails. Let's do it though. Okay, so I stopped by this old little toy shop called Westside Kids. They usually have, well, they do have like a tremendous selection of Jellycats, but they didn't have the one that I was looking for. So I'm gonna go to Strand and see if they have it there because they usually have a selection. But first I'm gonna go to the hardware store, so come along with me. Hello, I'm back from my errands. I have bad news and I have good news. Which one do you want to hear first? I went to go get the little screw. Went great. The hardware store is where it's at. My biggest nightmare is if that place ever closes. If that place closes, I'm moving. Like, there is no value to the neighborhood if that hardware store closes. And that's just one guy's opinion. Hey, Michelle, they had this crazy clearance sale that we should go check out, actually. Oh, no, they're going on a business sale? No, it's just for all their espresso machines. Whoa, we should get one. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Lattes round the clock, baby! Anyway, then I went to Westside Kids and the Strand to try to find my little dragon Jellycat, which of course, go figure, I have been seeing that dragon Jellycat every day of my life probably. And today, when I go out to buy the dragon Jellycat, he is nowhere to be found. In fact, I showed a picture of the dragon Jellycat to the store clerk at Westside Kids, and her assistant goes, "That is so cute, we do not have him." You guys should go if you've never been, if you have a child in your life, or if you're just a guy who has good taste. Westside Kids has been open for so long, it was so wholesome. A mother and daughter came through the door with their big umbrellas while I was in there, and the mom said to the kid, "I used to come here when I was little." And it was like a storybook moment. It's been open for forever. It's locally owned. It's also a Black owned business, which is amazing But the Upper West Side can be a little homogenous. There's definitely a very rich immigrant, specifically Jewish history here on the Upper West Side. But as it's become more affluent through the years, it has become like very white. But New York is such a diverse city, and so when you can support businesses that reflect that, it is a really cool thing. It is so cute. The store is so wonderfully curated, and yeah, they have about every jelly cat you could ever want, except for the one that I wanted today. So don't be discouraged to go check it out. But that does mean that I went to the Strand bookstore to try to find the jelly cat, and then the jelly cat was not there either. There were like 17 pterodactyls and octopuses, or octopi. So sad that they didn't have any little dragon. They had so many cute little rainbows and lettuce ones, but no dragon. So I'm upset because I would want this video to be good, and I don't want you guys to be like, well, she said she was gonna go buy a dragon for her dragon shelf and there's not a single dragon on it. And to you I say, something to look forward to. That's called delayed gratification. So please subscribe and check back soon to see if a dragon appears. I actually came back here and went to therapy via my computer, and it was good. I cried a little bit, which is how you know it went well. Yeah, I do love my therapist. I have the urge to ask her to be friends, but I have Googled it and apparently it's inappropriate. We will continue our relationship of doctor and pupil. What? Patient, thank you. Okay, so I thought I would do this and do a little shopping with me to tell you what I'm getting from my room. And by room I mean office. What are things that I need for the office are my dragon. I also want to get a new lamp for the space because this one it's serving millennial Pixar and that's fine. It's still kind of a cute lamp. I'm sure we could find some place for it maybe. But the light from it is also like very harsh. And recently, yeah, as Michelle said from the other room, it's quite jarring. The truth is, we just had some new neighbors move in the apartment across the way from ours, the one that we can see into from our living room and kitchen, which is why, if you look closely, we got some new blinds for the living room. It's because the woman in the dynamic loves to be completely stark naked while she walks around. Happy for her that she's confident and liberated in her body, but it is jarring to see somebody's areola across the way, especially when there's no like skirting around. She's not like in a rush to try to hide her nakedness, like she's just naked, which is wild because unfortunately, like, listen, I've ran around naked before when I like forgot something in the other room, you know, for sure. But that's a lot of confidence. But to be fair, she has a very conventionally attractive body, so. You're on fire. But anyway, they have a banker's lamp. The man, I think, the boy one, has a banker's lamp in his new little office setup. Personally, I think that the layout of that room could use some work. The people who lived in the apartment previously had the most gorgeous use of space. They could use some work. They need a Chip and Joanna Gaines. Yeah, but he has a banker's lamp that he put on his desk, and I really love the looks of it because they're green, see? They look like this, if you're familiar. Now, I don't want to say that my father had one growing up. Did he? I think so. Yeah, I think so too. I find something about them very soothing. But I don't know, these ones are kind of expensive. Let me try to find the cheapest one possible and I'll get back to you. So I'm gonna order that. I'm also gonna order my little jelly cat guy. Let me show you. He's easy on the eyes, this guy. He's called Bashful Dragon. Can you think of anything more charming? He is a shocking $27, and yet, can you think of something that's a better use of cash? Okay, so now I'm gonna go and look up my banker's lamp, which is significantly less fun. And in the morning I'm having an early rise, and then I gotta get this video up. I'm going to also do a big deep clean and like overall staging of the space, not to keep using that word, and yeah. Okay, so final cleaning and set dressing day. I did vacuuming, I did Swiffering. There I am with a freshly washed set of curls. The reason I'm doing all this in a voiceover is because the super came to fix the bathtub. This is the evidence. So Just so you guys are aware, I did get to do my deep cleaning. I fixed up the space, and then I got to hang my whiteboard. This is definitely an ode to my mom, who had a whiteboard in the kitchen the whole time I was growing up and put all important dates within the family on the whiteboard so she wouldn't forget. And I'm very forgetful, so it's something I wanted to have in my home as well. I added some finishing touches, and that brings us to the end of today's mini home office renovation. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can keep up with me on Instagram and TikTok, and I'll see you guys in the next video.